Okay. That's going to annoy me, I think. So, looks like we're live. People are starting to watch. Let me know if you're here. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Obviously, we normally do this via Zoom and then onto YouTube. I'm going to move that camera a little bit. Let's try that. That's better. Sorry, I'm just going to turn my phone onto airplane mode or silent or something because, as you can imagine, it is going crazy. Well, a few of you are watching on, so if you are here, you want to share the stream out, get involved, get comment in. There's going to be lots going on. We're going to kick off with the Sheffield Steeldogs, although that is a very different looking Steeldogs from what you might be seeing across the UK right now. So Tim Smith, friend of the show, great lad, and Sheffield through and through. He's announced his retirement today, so shout out to Tim. 4 major trophies with Sheffield, hell of a career, great lad, and just someone that teammates absolutely love. He's funny as fuck. Honestly, Smith is such a funny lad. He's a good family man. Obviously, come back from a major injury, and he's announced his retirement. I'm going to read out what he said today. He said, all good things have to come to an end. Unfortunately for me, this season, the fire for the game has gone. Sheffield was my club, and I loved everything that was about it. But now I come to the rink and question why I'm leaving my family behind all weekend. This, for me, told me I need to step away after 11 years and over 500 games. I wish the lads that are still standing all the best, and I salute you. The memories we've created over the years, the bonds we have made can never be taken. League champion, 3-time cup winners, and playoff winners. We won every trophy we could over the years, and I can enter the next chapter content. So, in the words of JK, you don't retire from this league, you quit. Fucking rights, boys. So, I know Tim Smith has more hockey in the tank. There's no doubt about it. And I think had the team still been under the ownership that was under last year, we wouldn't see Tim Smith hang him up this year. I think the way that the Steeldogs organisation are running things right now is completely different to what's been run before. And you can tell, for those that are old enough to remember the EPL days, Milton Keynes Lightning, they built a core, and they built a core of guys that you could rely on every single week, year in, year out. And Sheffield had the same. They had that same core guys that built the foundation of what they're doing right now. And they start hacking into that. I mean, it starts probably starts when I was actually up in Sheffield. So when I was up in Sheffield, Lewis was on the bench, running the bench for Huey, and that was the start of the year. They beat Solway both games at the start of the year there, and they had a good start to the season. And Lewis got let go. They brung in a different coach. I can't. His name is Steve. Sorry, I think his name is. Name just completely escaped me right there. They brung him in to go on the bench, and he's a Sheffield guy. Stevie Weeks, that's it. Sorry. So it just seemed like a bizarre movement because Lewis and Huey seem to be working quite well together, and they brung in a guy who's with the Scimitars last year. His record with the Scimitars was, let's have a look, 1 win, 31 losses. I mean, that's not good. That's really not good. I'm not sure. I don't know the guy, by the way. I don't know him from Adam. But if I'm a veteran player in that fucking organization and the club bring in a guy that lost 31 games out of 32 last year, I'm not going to be very happy. It's going to be hard to respect him. It's going to be very difficult to respect him. I know people. Jose Mourinho kind of breaks the mold when people go, "Oh, you don't have to have played to have coached." I think it does make a hell of a big difference, and you have to be going into the room and command respect. I know he's not the head coach at that point. You have you have Jason Hewitt. Now, Jason Hewitt steps down, and they have this guy running the show now. The win record this year under Steve for the Dogs is 7 games, 1 win, 6 losses. That's not great. Again, the Dogs look unrecognizable when you watch them play. I think that seems to be the consensus from a lot of the stuff that I've read today, when fans go, let's throw it back to Pisey. You could have been pumping the Dogs 9-1, but you knew like you were going to get taken to task. And then you go on the Woody, you knew the games were going to be tight. They were going to be structured. This year, I don't know. It just something feels off. And obviously with Tim going, Jack Brammer's left. He's left the Dogs. Trying to leave the Dogs. I know. Sorry, what we got here in the comments? Lewis Sprowell. Steve did play, but only at NIHL 1 North. Okay, fair enough. Did not know that. But yeah, again, I think it's difficult when you're trying to step into that situation. Had he been stepping in from the Scimitars last year, only played NIHL 1 North, as you say, but he was coming in 32 games, 25 wins, 3 draws. You go, fuck, bring the guy up. Let's go. And you give him an opportunity, and I think he will walk into the room with respect because he's a winning coach. He's got a winning record, and that's a big thing when you're a hockey player. You want a coach that you can get behind and you can believe in. I think they changed a lot, the ownership when they came in, but I don't know if they really changed the right things, in my opinion. They've changed some things for the better, and I'm going to read off a couple of things that I wrote down earlier, if I can find it. So there was a post on the Steeldogs fans page from Sean Cutts, and it says, it's always difficult when anyone comes into any new business. You need time to understand what you have, and you need time and what you need to do. We have to remember the team was hours away from not being able to ice this season. With the support from the fans and what is being done to rebuild a crumbling business takes time, investment, and patience. Since taking over, we have a new ticketing system, a new shop, a new website, new sponsors, a new bus company, the first ever sellout on New Year's Eve, which I was told it wasn't. Nutritious food made for the team. The journey will continue. Right. So other than a new ticketing system, by the way, there was fuck all wrong with Ticket Co. Let me just throw that out there. Absolutely nothing wrong. They were brilliant. New website. Okay, Dog's website was never fantastic, but I haven't seen it now, so I don't know how good it is. Don't know how much traffic websites actually get. How many people go to websites? I know personally, I'm more in touch with teams via their social media because I think it's a little bit more interactive than their website, and you get to interact with the team. You get to interact with other fans and see what else is going on. A new bus company. Okay, everyone likes a new bus. I've seen the Steeldogs buses. It looks good. Okay, no problem with that. New sponsors, great. What are they doing for the fan experience? What are they doing to keep the players happy? What are they doing to sort out the results? What are they doing to invest in the team? Because from what I can gather, I know there's new sponsors got deep pockets, and they don't have to sell out Sheffield to be able to put a budget together. They have budget from elsewhere. Tony's obviously, he's a very shrewd businessman. We know what they do over at the Sheffield Steelers. I mean, we'll talk about Sheffield Steelers a little bit later because they've been fucking absolute money wagon of the highest order. I mean, they're just phenomenal right now. But yeah, I'm just going to get in some of these comments quick because otherwise I'm going to miss loads. I've already missed like 20 because I was reading something. Let's go. What we got? Getting rid of Lewis was a massive mistake. Hughie wanted him over Steve. That comes from CD. I don't know who that is, but I would tend to agree from when I was there. That was a consensus. But I also hear that Steve's kind of the guy from Sean, Tony, and the third partner. Do you have 3 partners? Don't know. That's too much for my brain right now. I want to try and get into these comments. Still not the right coach, I'd say. That comes from Lewis. 0 Tony Sargent, MK Boy. Shout out my man there behind the camera. 0 fire in the belly against us on Saturday evening. That is not the Steeldogs way. Yeah, it's not the Steeldogs way. But if, things are to be believed about things going on behind the scenes, maybe people speaking out of turn. So, I mean, fuck it. Pot kettle, right? I do a podcast. I speak out of turn all the time. But I'm not running a hockey team. So, owners and management telling players the way they want them playing. Listen, put the money in. Get the business running. Leave the fucking hockey to the hockey people. Do the other stuff. Put your money in. Do it. Great. Leave the on-ice stuff to the coaching and management team, which, if the reason this guy has only got the job is because he's going to be a yes man, then you can see exactly why he's there. Banners on the wall. Mr. Anthony Russell. That post is a level of optimism. It's so high, it's skimming a space station. Yeah, I know. It's bullshit is what it is. When you look at the long and the short of it. So obviously I've touched on, Jack Brammer. He's handed his notes in. He's leaving. It looks like Zamadra's out the door as well. There's other rumours that I don't know too much about, so I won't get into. But players getting held hostage under their contract with buyout clauses ranging from £1,000 to £10,000. Now, I don't know if I'm a part to play in this or not, but in 2011, when the 12 season, when I left Swindon and went to Basingstoke, I was suffering depression, but didn't really know what it was at then. But I'd had enough of being traveling and doing everything. I just wanted to come home. So I went in the office. I told Steve no. And Steve says to me, look, wait, I'll give you an extra 50 quid. I was like, nah. He's like, I'll give you an extra 75 quid on top of the 50. So it was like an extra 125 quid a week. And I'm just like, it wasn't about that. I genuinely wanted just to be closer to home. Shit wasn't good. So that was the route I wanted to take. Now, obviously, I just had to give 2 weeks notice. And I don't believe that Swindon got a penny then. I believe the year after, there was decent buyout clauses in the contract. Now, I know Steve did it in Swindon, which means he done it in Leeds. And I know that when the Steeldogs ownership changed hands and the new owners take over, obviously they're going to have a lot of contact with Steve Nell. He's a big part of what happens in that National League. He's kind of one of the forefathers of the league, and quite rightly so. He really knows his shit. But I'm guessing the Steeldogs went along that mold there and, maybe copied up some contracts and got some buyouts put in place. Now, I know from talking to Jack that he actually just wants to develop. He just wants to play, and he's not happy with his ice time. And if you're 20, 21, 22, and you're at a club and you don't feel that the ice time you're getting is good, I think it's a mature decision to maybe step down or step across, step out and go elsewhere. Where you will be appreciated. Now, obviously, I'm pals with Brams, but if he was shit and he was playing the amount he's playing, fair. But he's not. He's a good hockey player, and he brings tenacity. He's got some fight. He's got some of that Steeldogs character that you would have got growing up watching the teams that they had. And I think they're missing a trick not putting them on the ice. Let's have a little ADHD moment. Go read some comments. I'll try and remember where I am, Billy Connolly style, when I come back. Versus the Raiders, showed energy after the goal. They won the face-off, but Raiders game session. Some of their players became lazy. Do you know what? When stuff's tough in the changing room, it's fucking hard to get going up there. I can't explain to you. I've played on teams where money problems, where I played on the Bees when they brought up fucking far too many Hornets players that weren't good enough because it was the budget, and Pinky and Sesky were taking a good chunk of that budget, so they had to cut cloth, which meant our team wasn't good. So when you're in that situation, it's fucking hard some nights to come to work. Especially if you've had owners coming in the locker room. We had it in Bracknell. It's like, shut the fuck up and get out. This isn't the place for you. I know that's happened other places across the league throughout years. Owners should be nowhere near locker rooms. It's not their job. They pay people to do that job. New sponsors, but where is the money going? Not in the club, that's for sure. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. Ian Craig, New Year's Eve wasn't a sellout, but 50% were Leeds fans. Leeds always travel well to Sheffield. I've talked to Ali over the years that he's been doing it, and those games between Christmas and New Year, whether it be whoever's rink, they all kind of cross-sell Sheffield, Hull, Leeds. They get good crowds. That's the idea of those games. When I played, it was Swindon Bracknell, Guildford Bracknell. That was our Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, Christmas, New Year's Day games. It was close games. When I was in Slough Bees sometimes. Always go for a fucking couple of Boxing Day and New Year's Day tilts. Everyone's been sat with the family for 2 days, bit pent up aggression. Christmas dinner to work off. It was always fun. I don't know, like it was Vinny Zavoro always sticks out in my brain. Having to play against that guy on New Year's Day, definitely playing guilty because as if you didn't go out on New Year's Eve. But yeah, let's see what else we got. Dean, what's Dean saying? The one big thing that the fans deserve is communication from the club. There has been absolutely nothing. How are the fans supposed to trust them? Absolutely nothing. I agree, mate. I think communication is key. Not only from a playing point of view, like you want to communicate with your line mates, you want to communicate with your coaches, and you want to have that, but you also want the club, you want your coaches to communicate with management, your management to communicate with the owners, and you want the ownership group and the management to communicate with the fans. What else have we got here? What's Ant saying now? Ant saying those buyout clauses are a thing if one side is serving notice on the other and they can't agree. If both sides agree, no notice, mutual termination, immediate release. Yeah, that's where the issue stands. I don't think they want to release Jack. I don't think they do. As a Tigers fan, we've only beaten once at home down in Telford. Mate, the Telford Tigers, I shout out Hull, Matty Davis, always good for hooking the 4,000 boys up with streams and stuff. I sat and watched their game last night. Telford Tigers were good value for their win. Big 4-point weekend for them. Shout out Tommy Watkins. Fans don't pay to have communication. They pay to watch hockey. Hard to see your team slaughtered and no answers, but the owners don't have to. It's hard to accept as a fan. Yeah, but that also comes in the mix of are all the players on the same page? I disagree with you, Mike, on that one. They obviously knew that Brams has handed his notice in. Z, they know that Timmy's going to do something. Yeah, we've had no word. There should be communication, especially because all the fans already know. They're already fucking talking about it online. No use shutting the gate once the horse is bolted, to be fair. They could have got ahead of it. Look at Oxford's PR this year. Oxford's PR has been absolutely fantastic all season. Learn a thing or two. It's worth it, especially at that level. Do Sheffield Steeldogs know how to run an organization? Easy for me to say. Organization. Yeah, they do. They can put bums on seats. They can put a good quality product on the ice. They got a fucking shit ton of sponsors. Like they really do know how to run it. Do they know how to do it at this level? Well, no, they don't, because they haven't done it. They need a bit of experience, and they had that experience. They had Ali there, and it's sad that situation didn't work out. But for Ali, it must be like watching his fucking favourite pub burn down right now. Feel for him big time. Right, having to sign out, prospects signed, rolled out a Save the Dogs night. then owners changed and no comms on whether these young ones are even considered still part of it. Now, I always thought like the Made in Sheffield thing was quite big, but I'm hearing like in the summers at those sessions, they're looking at kids from Peterborough, they're looking at kids from Blackburn, they're looking at kids from all over the place. I don't know why Blackburn came to my mind, but I think that's probably because there's been a lot going on there. The coaching doesn't seem to know what it wants to do with players. Tom Palmer started the year training with the Steelers and playing for the Steeldogs, but he's got a little ice time recently. Again, I don't know. I've heard that obviously I feel bad for him. The owner's son's playing for the Dogs, and he's gonna be made to feel a bit shit because I think he's probably playing ahead of guys that he's probably not ready to be playing ahead of yet, and that's going to be tough to take. That can also kind of separate a dressing room, and I hear he's a good kid, so that's not going to be great for him. GoFundMe for brands. That's funny. Steeldogs are far from the worst team I've seen at Telford this year. Very poor from the owners. Yeah, I really don't know. It's hard to say who the weakest team is this year. I know Steeldogs find themselves down there, but it's not through having shit players. They've got some good players on that roster. Just something's not clicking, and you know they've made the top 4, I believe, the last 2 seasons. They won a playoff title not so long ago with pretty much the same roster. Is this not a case of new owners getting feet under the table, get the off-ice issues sorted, get through the season, and have a full summer of recruitment, which is absolutely fine if you don't fuck everybody off in the meantime? Because if that is your plan, and the boys feel like they're being treated like shit, guess what? It's a small pool of players that you're picking from. Ant Muscle. I don't even know why I didn't. Weakest team, Bristol. Yeah, God, I love them, but it's Bristol. Yes, it is Bristol. Sorry. Bristol are having a fucking nightmare. Absolute nightmare. I feel for them guys. I've been a part of teams like that, Isle of Wight and stuff. It's a slog. Because, again, you've got some good players there, but it just doesn't seem to be fitting the mould. Right? It's a struggle night in, night out. And then they'll beat Swindon, who are a wagon. Swindon are going to be very dangerous in the run-in with these home fixtures they've got coming up here. Did we make a mistake fighting during the summer? Maybe we should have taken a year out. I don't know, because there's still a lot to come out about the summer that I still really can't talk about. When that comes out, I don't know. It will come out. And maybe not. I think what everybody was fighting for isn't the same product as what you have. It's sad but true. You had the what do you call it? The off-ice issues going on deep into the summer. You had guys signed that didn't know if they were going to be playing or not, or whether they should leave or whether they should stay. Obviously, other teams are making offers because, you know, the Dogs got told they were out, and then they eventually find their way back in. Planet Ice involved. There was just so much shenanigans going on. I hope we don't see any more issues like that, because ultimately it's the fans that lose out. You have players in Sheffield that, you know, they're Sheffield through and through, and chances are they're going to be walking away from that club. If it's not now, it's later, and it will be the summer. They will have to make a rebuild. The other issue you then run into, if you piss off all the local talent and they all leave, and Leeds manage to keep a hold of most of their guys that they want to keep a hold of, Hull managed to keep a hold of most of their guys they want to keep a hold of, you're going to have to be signing Brits from all over the country. Now you're going to have to start housing Brits. And then obviously that's not as bad up in Sheffield as it may be in like Romford in London or something like that. But again, it changes everything. So will they end up going to the Steelers thing? I thought so, but then they signed Finley Ulrich from Hull Seahawks on a 2-way. Now, I think that's a great move because I think Finn's a good player, and I'm happy to see him get his shot. But it seems odd to have that pathway between the Dogs and the Steelers and then not use it. I think someone mentioned above. I think someone mentioned above about one of the other guys. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. About Palmer. Obviously, started the year training and then barely getting any ice time. I've heard a few things, like a bit of disrespect going Jono Phillips' way, and just stuff that you would find weird. What do you guys think? Did the Dogs make the right decision and carry on, or not? I personally think because I'd hate to lose a team. It's still good to have that. Obviously, you've got the Sheffield Academy who just pump out talent all the time. They have to have players that have got somewhere to go. Mr. Hullaby, what is going on, my man? Let's have a look. Okay. I've been waiting for this, so let me share something with you. I've been waiting for it to come out so that I could talk about it fully. But Jack has just shared his post on. Yeah, he's just shared his post on his page, and I want to read it to you. So, it says, "Hi, Steeldog fans. I know there's been lots of rumours circulating, and most of you have already guessed what this post is about to say. The years I've spent at Steeldogs have been some of the best of my life. I've experienced the highest of the highs, like taking home trophies, and the lowest of the low of having the privilege of retiring my best friend's jersey on the ice. I will cherish the memories I've made with Steeldogs for the rest of my life, but I've had to make the impossible decision to move on for my own development and to fall back in love with the sport, which will mean moving down a league. Unfortunately, that's been stopped by the club at the moment as there are big payout clause involved that isn't affordable for any team in that league, and we won't come to a mutual agreement, and it's affecting my development by not getting me back on the ice. I will forever be grateful for the opportunities given to me by the club, for all the hard work that goes on behind the scenes, and all Ali, Roger, and Jane's work in the past, and the most important person in that room, Shirley. But there are certain factors recently that have limited my ice time and therefore my development. Thank you for your support, Dogs fans. It might not be the biggest group, but sure are the best. I wish you nothing but success in the future, and hopefully the boys will bring you more trophies and keep the party bus alive for us all." There you go, folks. What do we make of that? I'll give you a couple of minutes to get some comments in, but that is what Brams is saying right now, and he's right. He's got to develop. If we spoke to Jack on here, if the Elite League was ever something in his future, and he always said that he wants to get his apprenticeship. Sorry, I'm just going to share that on our Facebook quick. He wants to get his apprenticeship and all of his Sparky stuff finished. He's got a good job, and he wants to continue doing his job, but he wants to enjoy his hockey. Like, he's a good lad. He's looking after himself, and he wants to continue developing on the ice. Now, you're not going to do that playing limited ice time. As I said, it's not down to his where in North One does Brammer go? I'm not telling you. Sorry, mate. Jamie, not Sheffield, yeah, not Sheffield. But again, I think that would be good for Brams. He'll go down there, he'll fucking rip it up. He'll be good. Tim Jack official now. How many more to come? Biz, Dima, and who knows how many more? And the silence for the club, awful. Well, someone's put Brammer to Hull Jets, Brammer to Hawks. There's some guesses coming in now. But yeah, well, Brams is on the move. Ian Clegg, 4 points in the last 9 games, least goals, more shots on their goal than ever before. Brammer, Palmer, Doxy were great for 12 months ago and now really rarely see the ice. They have a strong D pack on paper. Yeah, how can you not like that D pack? It's just got a lot weaker with Tim Smith leaving. Parameter Hull, that seems to be doing the rounds. Wherever Jack ends up going, obviously nothing's official until it's official, but yeah, wherever he ends up going, I hope he goes and smashes it. It will be good for his development. And parameter the Lions. Wow, they're all coming in now. Is everyone just going to name every team in the league? I imagine that's what's going to happen here in the comments. It's not only them. Does Dima end up leaving? I think he will. Obviously, Dan Crow is come in. The Steeldogs like them. Tony Smith likes him. He signed him to the 4-year deal. Yeah, so Crow is that guy. Dima will probably go do his twilight elsewhere. Bizdeen even shake hands at Leeds after the final buzzer. Simply went to the room shaking his head at Steve. Well, there you go. That could be. It's tough. It is tough when you're experienced. Biz has played at good levels. He's played for fucking serious coaches. He's played in the Elite League. Yeah, good career in North America as well. So if he isn't happy with the coaching, then who can blame him? Let's talk about Blackburn for a little while here. Let's change it up because I know some of you would be tuning in for that. We had. Let's have a look what we got here. Yeah. So whoever that was that just sent me that, I can totally agree with what you just said. Biss signed off sick for the rest of the season. Mitchell all done. Above many of them, Demon deserves to go out on his own terms in the way he chooses. I'm an outsider from Sheffield, but that man deserves respect. Yeah, put some respect on his name. Absolutely. The guy's been basically like a 90+ save percentage for a fucking decade. Dan Crow did likewise in MK on Saturday. It felt his D hung him out to dry. Hey, when stuff's not going right, and it seems that seems stuff at Steeldogs is not pretty right now. Be interesting to see. They've got a signing deadline coming up. If guys keep fucking leaving, I don't know who they're gonna bring in. Right, let's go to Blackburn. So let's start off with the post that kind of went up and came back down. I'll read it to you when I can find it. Where is it? Here we go. Blackburn Hawks Ice Hockey Club would like to make the following statement. On Sunday, the 7th of January, the fixture between the Deeside Dragons and Blackburn Hawks played at Deeside Leisure Centre. Blackburn Hawks player David Urenkos, sorry if I got that wrong, I fucking 100% got it wrong. We'll just go with Davids from now. Was physically assaulted by opposition player Jared Dickerson while the teams made their way to their respective dressing rooms in the tunnel area at the end of period 2. Davids was punched in the face, which resulted in him having to receive immediate medical attention from the Hawks physio whilst he lay on the floor outside the dressing room. He got punched in the face, didn't he? What's fucking wrong with his legs? He could just stood up and went in the dressing room. The club sought guidance from England Ice Hockey and was advised to follow protocols and inform North Wales Police, which it did. The incident itself is now a matter for both authorities to deal with, and the club will comment no further in this time. However, Evermax Events, trading as Blackburn Hawks, will not tolerate such behaviour and would like to make it known that Mr. Dickinson will not be allowed entry into Blackburn Arena whilst Evermax Events are holding an event. Both England Ice Hockey and Deeside Dragons have been informed. Okay, that's one side. I've heard several other sides. So let's try and play a little bit of devil's advocate. So I'm hearing Davids went after an import and then there was some sort of commotion and the boys got into it a little bit. Should there be any fighting off the ice? No, there probably shouldn't. Does it happen? Hey, every now and again. Have I been involved in some? Yeah. If someone goes after my import and he's there, I'd chin him as well. the pictures that went out earlier that we put on social media, that isn't actually from the incident. There was a little set to between a couple of ex-teammates, Jared being one of them a little earlier on. So there's bits and pieces that have happened in, and obviously they're saying he got punched in the face off the ice. What I want to know, if this happened at the end of the second period, and this has been put in the comments on Facebook, I believe. If that happens, so Jared punched the import in between the second and third period, and you're semi-tough and you play for Blackburn, the first shift of the period when he takes the opening draw, you jump him. You put someone out and you jump it. No one touched him. Like he played in that third period. So it sounds crazy that nobody went and done anything there and then. I know actually Dom Osman put a post out. I'm going to read what Dom said. I like Dom. He's been on here before. He took the face off for the third period. Yeah, there you go. So if he just chinned your import in the hallway, and I'm not saying he has, I'm not saying he hasn't, because I don't know. I genuinely have no clue if he did. But if he did, he then steps out to take the face off for the second and third period. You don't even have to be tough. You just have to jump him. It's that simple. What would DOPS say about this? Well, I don't know. I think we'll see DOPS come to some better decisions soon when they announce the new man in charge. So once they do that, we're going to see Department of Player Safety, making smart decisions, and I think we're going to be in for a good change, that's for sure. Let's go to what Dom says. I always need to sleep on events before I express my opinions. Win or lose, it was a great weekend of hockey that we came out of on the wrong side. Unfortunately, it was overshadowed by a couple of disgusting incidents. Keep the play on the ice. Keep the policing on the ice, which is a massive issue at the moment. I'm absolutely disgusted and appalled at a player being sucker punched, injured, and put out of the game in an intermission in a tunnel by the locker room. This type of behaviour is disgusting and gutless. No matter what, in hockey, tempers flare, guys get under each other's skin on the ice. But to lose a guy like that, especially a top guy in a close game that could make a difference, and still allow the offender to go back out only to put other players in danger, is in my eyes not right. The book needs to be thrown at players like this. We preach development and safer play, yet there are guys allowed to go out and do what they want with no consequences. What are you teaching your players? That's the question I ask. We will not stoop to that level. We can't. So let's hope the league will police the issues. We can't police the game. Sorry, I'll just read the second part of that. Anymore ourselves because of the new rules. But unfortunately, some are just not buying it in. Something needs to change, or let us start policing the game ourselves again. Hey, I vote for that. Where else are we? Yeah. So these gutless, malicious acts stop happening. Anyway, unfortunately, this player has to go to work and school with a busted face today, having no clue the attack was coming. Fine me, suspend me, ask me to take this post down, but I will be the first to say, as long as I am coaching, this will not be acceptable behaviour, and we would never condone this behaviour from any of our players. There is right, okay. So we're gonna go back to playing devil's advocate. Okay. If he did punch him, he didn't just fucking punch him for no reason. What did he punch him for? What's been said? What's happened? If you're in the corridor, heat of the moment. What happened on the shift before they went into the intermission? I mean, I punched a lot of people on the ice, and a couple off it, but never for no reason. I didn't punch someone for no reason. That's just not a thing. I believe, I believe Jared's seeking advice, because obviously this has came out in the press, and sorry, I'm just getting some funny messages through. I believe that Jared's, going to seek some advice. I would if I was him. What's 4,000? What do you mean, what's 4,000? What's 4,000 in counting? It's a podcast, buddy. Play along. Right, let me have a little scan through it. Because obviously I've had from both sides, hearing bits and pieces. Yeah, I just don't. I just don't think like this whole incident's done. There's going to be more. There's going to be more to it. Department of Player Safety are going to have to get involved. I think obviously whatever's happened, the commotion, I, to have no witnesses, to my knowledge. Anthony Russell, the reason he didn't get up and go to the room, he got knocked out. Must be a good fucking punch. Do you know how hard it is to actually knock somebody out? I believe that he got knocked out. To actually knock someone out and there to be no witnesses, I find that really, really mad. Yeah, in the tunnel, surely there'd be more people and not just the two of them to witness something. Yeah, I can't see him getting knocked out, Lee, either. It's so fucking hard to knock somebody out. And to actually physically knock him out. Knocked on his ass, yeah. Bell rung, yeah. Actually getting spark clean out, probably not. If for him to get punched in the face in that situation, how do all the boys not come out the fucking locker rooms? How is there not 20 on 20 Royal Rumble? I know when I played, that would have been the case. You wouldn't even have to be a fighter. Like, you could have been Dan Marashi, the backup goalie at the Bees. If you see someone chin your fucking import and you're stood there, you're doing something about it. You don't have to be tough. Lewis, how do you know he's been signed off all season? He said to us he's hoping to be back for the weekend. I don't know what I've missed there. Someone injured or something. Biz signed off sick for the rest of the season. Yeah, I don't know how true that is. I find that hard to believe. Why would he be signed off sick? I can't see that happening. What else have we got to talk about, folks? Let me know if there's any other bits and pieces we got going on. I think this isn't the last we're going to hear of the Steeldogs. I don't think this is the last we're going to hear of Blackburn. What else have we got going around the National League? Let's have a little look here. So Leeds sitting on top of the table, just a couple of points ahead of MK. Swindon, 10 points back. They've been good at home, 7-3-1. They've got a lot of home fixtures to come, so that could be very interesting. Milton Keynes' home form still fucking almost immaculate, 15-1. And then the Leeds Knights, 12-2 at home, 13-2 on the road. I remember the Leeds being very good on the road last year as well. So, you know, they're doing bits. I think the Leeds Knights are probably the favourite. And if only I had stuff to talk about on Wednesday. Andy Robertson, upsets in Hull. Well, what do you mean upsets in Hull? They lost to Tigers. It's not really an upset, I wouldn't say. Solway in the playoffs. Yes, for me, Solway make the playoffs. I said it at the start of the year. I will stick with it. Purely because, again, like the Dogs used to be, Solway's a great locker room. Just a fucking great bunch of lads. Very different way of owning things and running things up there. And what they do up there is brilliant. If you haven't been, go to Solway. Yeah, just good people up in Solway. They do stuff the right way. Very nice. Family-run club. Even though it's got like the new owners and they've been very clever. They've put in people in place, Craig Peacock, Dunbar. They've put those guys in place at that kind of senior role where they can go out into the community. They can start building the brand and sharing the sport. But they've also managed to retain them as hockey players, and they're both over 50 points already, as we said they would be. Balance on the wall. Go to Solway, superb club. Sorry, town is lovely. Battered haggis and chips from the Palmerston. Jobs are good and sounds right. That young lad deserves better. Yes, Joe, I agree. Oh, there you go. Here we go. Josh Hodkinson. I haven't been on since that. So yeah, he signed for Hull, and they didn't notify Whitley. So apparently so. But I find it very difficult to believe that Matty would just sign a guy without putting anything across. I believe there was a miscommunication and Whitley came out and said as much. again, this isn't the first kind of snidey remarks we've seen in press releases this year. I can't remember. Do I see the Dogs picking it up and making the playoffs? No, not a fucking chance. No. Done. Finished. I think them and Bristol are probably no-goes. What other upset is there apart from losing to the Tigers? What, Tigers are like 2-3 points behind you. When did Hull become like the fucking Billy Big Bollocks? No, I think Hull will be upset with some of their results. I think they have an absolutely fantastic team. They are a brilliant team. And Telford are a good team. Like, are they as good as they have been? No, but they've got veterans. They've got one of the best goaltenders in the league. And they've got guys like Luca, who scored a goal last night, where he absolutely hung McLaughlin out to dry. Don't get me wrong, I didn't think Hull did much wrong yesterday. They really didn't. Hull fans, we've got Mr. Deck Barmer coming on this Wednesday, so tune in. We'll be getting that out there. Yeah, so the whole Josh thing, I think it was a miscommunication. Hey, if the lad wants to leave NIHL 1 North to go and play National League, I'm here for it. He did a job in Leeds last year, and he believes he can go on and do a job in the National League again. Hull could catch fire. They could be fucking awkward to play against in the playoffs. If they end up signing Dima, then that would shore them up even more. You know, you stick a guy like Dima in between the pipes for the run-in, and yeah, your chances improve a lot. That's not taking anything away from Jordan. I think he's class goalie. I just think having that 1-2 punch is very good. What else we got? What other upset? Oh, yeah, sorry, we've already had that. Yeah, I saw Peaks hit 50 points over the weekend. I said at the start of the year, I'd be no surprise to see them boys up at the 80, 90 numbers. They even had a slow start. Peaks' start would be shit by his accounts. And yeah, once he started scoring, you know, he was going to be very good for it. Also, second, and I'm not really a battered haggis guy, but I love haggis, so I'm sure battered haggis will be great. What else have we got? Yeah, let's go Elite League real quick. So bits and pieces happening. Guildford, they started to pick it up again, and then they lose to Dundee. But I think the story of the year right now in the Elite League is the fact that, Sheffield Steelers are just fucking outrageous right now. Let's have a look at their game center. So all teams, Sheffield Steelers, all months. They have, when was that? So they lost in a shootout at home on the 9th of the 12th. And they have pretty much since then. Yeah, I don't believe they've lost a game since then. Yeah, so they lost to Guildford in a shootout on the 6th, but before that, they beat Guildford 6-2, beat Guildford on the road 6-2. They beat Dundee on the road 6-4. They beat Sheffield. They beat Belfast 4-0. They then lose that game in a shootout, so they still get a point. Beat the Flyers 4-3, beat the Flyers 7-4, beat the Stars 5-0, beat the Devils 4-0, beat the Panthers 5-1, beat the Panthers 4-0, beat the Storm 9-3, beat the Storm 4-1, go into Cardiff, turn the Devils over 5-1. They then beat the Clan back-to-back this weekend, 6-3 in Glasgow, 3-2 in Sheffield. Now, we haven't seen a wagon like that in a long time. Giants in a bad way. Yes, the Belfast Giants are on the struggle bus. Even though they are still sitting 4th in the table, I think that's probably due to some of Cardiff's shortcomings. By the way, go and watch Pete Russell's interview post-game after they lose 5-1. I think he speaks with passion. Giants are sitting third, sorry. So they're 31 points, played one more game than the Steelers, and they're 14 points behind the Steelers. Can you remember ever the Steelers being 14 points ahead of Belfast at this stage? I'm sure some of you stat nerds will know that. Roderick Hunnaby, wouldn't NHL one team, one players moving up helps recruiting? Yeah, absolutely. It shows that there's a good pathway. If I'm honest, the defense has been immense since Cormier came in, replacing Petgrave. He's a lot more defensively responsible. Yeah, I saw Petgrave. People had some weird things to say about him. Obviously, not about the AJ incident. I'm just talking about his game. His plus minus was good and his points were legit, but he's what we call a Hollywood. He's a Ben O'Connor. He's going to make fucking mistakes because guess what? If you give the guy the puck, if the guy has the puck all of the time, you're going to make mistakes more. Guildford are a fascinating watch. They're clearly good. Seem to have moments of collective brain fog. Commenting on them has been fascinating. Yeah, I think Guildford are really good. They've got some great talent. I love their goalie, McAdam. He's aggressive. He comes out. He challenges shooters. He plays the puck. So many Steelers players scoring too. Yeah, they're all doing good. Lewis Jones would like to say a massive thank you to Steeldogs fans for their support during his time as assistant coach. That comes from Paige. Yeah, Lewis always talks very fondly of his time there, of like the people he worked with and stuff like that. Let's have a look. What else we've got? Question. I've seen a lot of Panthers fans asking about Yokoyama joining them, but until next season, he's still an import. Do you think it'd be worthwhile? I think he can't just jump from NIHL 1 to the Panthers, not a chance. Let's see how he looks at National League first. If he can do it there, then yeah. But no. We've got people questioning fucking whether Kieran Brown's ready to step up, and we're asking about this kid. Nah. I know he's a big fish in a small pond, but absolutely not. Would like to see him though, because he looks like a good player, and I'd like to see him playing with a National League team. What other stuff have we got, folks? Keep them coming. Yeah, he'd only signed for them about 2 months ago, so fans were disappointed. Yeah, Chris, hey, it sucks. It sucks for fans. You know, you go buy the fucking jersey and then the player leaves. But yeah, you did also lose Canadian Carl Powell. Tony's not letting someone go that he doesn't want to let go in terms of import. From Whitney's results weren't fantastic. Losing an import, so be it. I know he went down and played for Bristol, so again, he's getting that opportunity to step up a league. So you can understand why both guys done it. Totally understand. Again, yeah, from the fans' perspective, it's a bit of a kick in the stones. It's a bit weird doing these things, not drinking. This whole dry January things. Yeah, it's feeling good. Yeah, obviously the Steelers are a wagon. The Devils are a bit up and down. I think the interesting battle is going to be this, you know, the 5 through 8 battles. I think Nottingham are going to be really up against that. I know they made a new signing. I was a bit underwhelmed by that, if I'm very honest. But I think the Flyers, can they catch up? Can they pick it up? It's only 5 points as it stands right now to the last playoff space. They're going to have to do something. But the Stars, Blaze, Clan, and Storm are all separated by 3 points and no more than 2 games in hand by either club. It's going to be an interesting battle. I think the battle for second place, that's going to be interesting as well. Devils, Giants, and Flames. Who do you guys fancy right now to finish second? Who do you... This tab is using your... Okay, sorry, here we go. Yeah, who do you fancy to go all the way? Ali offered Yokoyama a place at the Dogs, which probably would have helped his progress. Yeah, I totally agree. That's also what I was going to bring up, but I was going to take the high road, but fuck it. Ant's already said it, so I'll say it now. Isn't ready for the EIHL talent-wise, for one, and for two, I'm going to basically say in a less polite way than Ant did. He's a gobshite. He's going to get his head punched in. you see every week. You know, a lot of the incidents that happen up in that league, the player's going after him, and you don't go after a player for no reason. I heard he's got a little bit of mouth to run, and hey, I don't care. I'm all for it. If he's on my team, I love it. I shout out to you guys. There's always been a couple of hundred of you listening the whole way through, so shout out to you for that. Hopefully, Mark will be back in action. He's been struck down with a fever. We've got a busy week of interviews as well. So, ladies and gents, you'll like this one. Here's a little exclusive for you. So we have Deck Barmer on Wednesday. We have Ali Band. Bandy is back playing in France, and he is coming on for a episode on Thursday. And then Friday, our boy Herms up in MK just broke the 60-point barrier at the weekend. So Rory's going to be joining us for episode 2. He's done an episode before, spoke really well. I'm really looking forward to getting him back on, see how he's doing, catch up. Good guy. Lots of podcasts coming up. And then this weekend, road tripping, folks. I am going to Barcelona. Let's see what it's all about. I better hit Barresso up and see if he's got a contact, get me some tickets out there in Barcelona. But I'm going to be going watching the Barcelona in the Spanish Men's League. I have fuck all idea what to expect. Like, I genuinely have no idea. I could turn up and it could be like ED1. I don't even know. We'll see. Showing my age there, ED1. Yeah. And saying again, like, credit where it's due. Yokoyama does mix it up, and he does his own fighting for himself. So yeah, you're never going to hear me bitch about that. I'm all over it. But yeah, going back to it. So have any of you ever been to watch ice hockey in Spain? It would be very interesting to hear some opinions and give me some pointers. Here we go. A new question. Thoughts on GB Olympic qualifiers in Cardiff when the EIHL, NIHL have games scheduled that weekend? Yes, mate, it's not them. It's the IIHF. They have no choice. It just so happens that Cardiff are hosts. If one of the other nations happen to be hosts, then the Elite League games would still go ahead. I'm sure when we look at it, I can't wait. I'm going to go down. I'll be down in Cardiff for it. Definitely Saturday and Sunday. I can't wait to get down there and watch the boys, cheer the boys on, get some content, do some off the cuff stuff. Bear with me, folks. I just need to get my charger before my battery dies. Have to excuse the grey hair. Gee, look how grey that is. Holy shit. Yeah, Bobby Robbins. Oh, well reminded. Bobby's actually coming on the pod. I need to chase him up. So yeah, maybe I'll hit him up and see what he's got to say for himself. Any updates on the Knights import situation? I don't, but if I was them, I'd sign Biz. That's what I would do. And then the Leeds fans would really see how good he actually is, because when you watch him and you get to see him do his thing, he's mixing some Just for Men. My on ice comeback. It's not going to be anytime soon. I said I'd think about it over Christmas, and I didn't think about it once, so that's probably your answer. I can't see it. I really can't see it. Like, my hips, brutal. Could I play? Yeah, I'm sure I could. Do I want to? I don't know. Fancy coming to the Dogs? Fancy fucking nah. No. That's the other thing. It's like, where do I play? Can I be asked to travel? And speaking to like some of these boys, me and Morgs on D. I can't escape backwards. What are you talking about? I can't play D. Sentiment through and through, mate. That's it. It's got to be done. I like taking face-offs and being in front of the net, mixing it up too much. I don't know. I think next year when the new Department of Player Safety is in and it's it's done properly, and I could if I could decide that I was going to do it, I could have a whole off season to get ready. There was a couple of things. Obviously, I'm in Barcelona this weekend. I'm in Cardiff. I'm in Prague. I've got like 4 trips between now and the end of the year. So when you start like going to coaches, yeah, I'll come back. I haven't been on the ice for 8 years, 10 years. Here's my list of weekends that I'm not going to be here. It makes a lot more. Are we doing another charity match this year? Great question. I'm glad you brought it up. Yes, we are. So we have one in Slough. I want to say, if I can pull my calendar up here, a very, very similar weekend to last year. So August it's either the 3rd or the 10th. I think at top of my head, we got August the 3rd. And the second one will be in Solway. And I believe that's going to be June. And potentially one more, I'll be speaking to John from Aberdeen and from the SIH about doing a game with him. We have some great ideas we spoke about previously, and I would love to make them happen. And I think for a charity game, it could be massive. It would be bringing back a game that hasn't happened in a generation. So it would be class. We will see. It's going to take a lot of people to make that one work. So John knows what I'm talking about. I will touch base with John actually, because if we could do that, then I think everyone will be pumped. It's going to take work from SIH. It's going to take work from the EHA. It's going to take all sorts. Lewis, need a coach charity game. Yeah, man, fucking come down. Paul, Solway is a definite winner. Yeah, absolutely. Andy, when am I next in Solway watching? I might take the wee man up to see the grannies, the great grannies nowadays. So yeah, I might be taking them up there either February or March. So probably it'll be March. So I imagine I'll be stopping off in Solway en route through to Irvine. So yeah, I'll be trying to get down there. I loved it last time I was up there. Mike, what's he saying? Wait till next season, DPO sorted, you get less sussies time. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. Because let's face it, I'm gonna have a fucking pretty big target on my back if I come back. Could you imagine if I sneeze in the wrong direction? I'll be screwed. Bring your flag. I've got my flag. I've got my Solway flag. Got my Solway flag right here, folks. Right there, baby. I've got so many cool things for my travels this year. Maybe at some point I'll share everything with you. And then I've got my 4,000 and counting puck, thanks to my boy Paddy. That was one of the charity game ones. Yeah, I've got all sorts of cool stuff here. I've got my Aberdeen Link shirt. And in fact, I will show you some stuff. Let's go. How nice are these Aberdeen shirts, by the way? What a great color scheme. Like, I'm not doing it justice, but it's such a cool logo. Like, just, yeah, great jerseys. Also great jerseys. Been sent one of these. The camo Hercules. That's dope. It's got 4,000 counting on the back. Gotta love that. I know, and Andy was the guy that put my 4,000 counting flag. I've got a new one. We can use this one now. No orange works for me. Yeah, Steeldogs fans. Yeah, on the orange. No on the orange. It's no from me. Don't get me wrong. I like orange and I like the Steelers jerseys. I think they're class. It just, I don't know. It just feels really weird. Really weird seeing them in that. What else have I got on my travels? I got a Berlin flag, but you want to see the fucking size of it. My road tripping episode of Berlin will be coming out this week. My client Sergio, he came with me, a friend of mine, and I was saying how cool the Berlin flags looked, and then he came back and he bought me a flag. It's about 4 times the size of this. I don't even know where it is. Is it in here? Got so much hockey merch in here at the moment. I'll have to find it and show you guys another time. But yeah, there's just I've got some cool stuff coming actually. Terry Miles, folks, ladies and gents, Terry Miles has basically got a new business starting, and he's got wicked stuff going on there. Oh yeah, I'm glad Chris reminded me of that. I'll come back to that in a second, Chris. Yeah, Terry Miles, some wicked stuff. So it's like, do you know, like for end of season presentation or man of the match, first goal awards, it's like puck lasered in with like the player's name on a jersey. It looks class. And then also done like a 4,000 counting on like a slate coaster with the logo. It looks class. They should be with me tomorrow. So check out our social media tomorrow. I'll be sharing that. Manu wants to know when my birthday is. Right, Manny, are you a troll? I don't know what's going on. You're gonna bake me a cake? Yeah. So my birthday's in July, mate. What else have we got here? Claire says, "Bring back the blue." Doubt it though. Orange is here to stay. Yeah, orange is here to stay. Thought Devils were playing on the Friday. The only day qualifiers isn't on. I could be mistaken. Well, I think Pete's not going to surely leave GB, even though it's in Cardiff, to coach that with his... What, does he then risk starting Bouncy for the Friday night when you got 2 GB games? No. The league will have to scrap that. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, Chris, 2 young netminders played in the Blackburn Deeside game, both 16 years old. That's awesome. Love to see some young guys getting out there, and goalie's tough position. What's with Deeside's name change to Flintshire again? I believe I saw Andy McKinney share something. It was I could butcher it. Basically something like they were honouring the freeze, if I'm not mistaken. It had been a certain amount of years, and I think McKinney was pumped because his old man had played for them, and obviously sadly no longer with us. So I'm trying to find it now to see what it said. But yeah, long and the short of it is I think it was just a one-off. So they're still the Deeside Dragons as far as I'm aware. Flintshire Freeze. It was for a nostalgia weekend. There you go. Mr. Banners on the wall is always right there with the good information. How cool has it been seeing him do all his little commentary and flying around the world, UK, getting in and about? I think that's pretty cool, actually, the fact they did that. Obviously, we have had a topsy-turvy National League, but as it stands, Solway are currently sitting on 25 points. Last time me and Mark did one of these things, he talked about the Raiders and the Sharks, and then he thought I think he said the Bees would miss out. Well, since then the Raiders went on a bit of a heater. They picked up some valuable points, and Peterborough Phantoms chipping away 37 points, way too far back to actually challenge for anything now. I think it's going to be a kind of 4th to 7th battle. Probably 4th to 6th battle, between Phantoms, Hawks, and Tigers, who finish in those spots. Obviously, any of these teams could go on a little run now, but I just think the Pitbulls, they're too far done. They've got a knife in their back already. It's going to be a real uphill struggle to go for the rest of the year. Dogs. Now, what's happening at the Dogs? Can't see them picking up many more victories, but the morale will just be shot within the camp. You know, it's one of them. They're going to get victories here and there from just the boys pulling together to try and get it done. You know, you can get the get that up and go, but that's not going to be every night. It's going to be tough to get that going every night. Karen, hey Karen Booth. Cardiff Pride Night is the Friday in the middle of the GB qualifiers. I take it back. I am going to Cardiff on the Friday. If there's a Pride Night in Cardiff, I am all over it. The gay bar scene is fucking wicked laugh in Cardiff. Honestly, we went for my mate's stag do. It was so good, so funny. Just such a bunch of beauties, no trouble. And lads, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but the hottest chicks in the world are in gay bars. Guess what? Because they're not getting hit on by every creep going. So there you go. A little tip for all my single fellas out there. Is there any chance you could put a notice to different teams about donating unwanted old gear? My little brother netminder for roller and wants to move to ice. Give kids the opportunities. Hey, I believe a lot of clubs do like secondhand kit sales, and it's quite cheap. And they then they kind of recycle that money back into the club. If you Matty Newton from Sheffield, I saw he put a post out the other day. So if you're on Facebook and you just go and check his thing out, he was selling skates and leg pads and all sorts of stuff, goalie gear and players gear. I think you can find a load like that. It would be fantastic for all teams to donate unwanted old gear. I think the problem you do have is parents fork out a lot of money for this stuff, and kids grow like fuck so quick. Like Brody, I can't believe how much he's grown in like just the last 2 months. Obviously, he's only 17 months old. Like you see some of these teenagers, I train some of the lads at boxing. They come back over the summer, they've grown 7 inches. That's a whole new set of kit when you grow that much. So they might not have paid, not long bought it. So some people will try and want a bit of return to invest back in again. But yeah, I completely agree. Chippy Lane is certainly an experience. Love a bit of Chippy Lane in Cardiff. Got to be done. You got to get your post night out Chippy Lane. Although I think last time, where did we go last time? God, I've been a few too many nights out in Cardiff. It's one of my favourite places to go. Actually, I think it's wicked. This is a support expert, by the way. Whoever's changed their name on here to that's fucking great. If you haven't already, go check out the guy that does he changes his logo on Facebook to customer service, and he responds to people. Oh, he does McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Argos, TGI's. Oh, so funny. I think he made a book out of it, actually. What else have we got? Karen, see there? Yeah. So it sounds, obviously my best mate lives in Cardiff. So for me, it's quite an easy one. Just need to make sure I've got tickets for the Saturday and Sunday. Gonna get down there, do some stuff for the boys. Let's ask you folks, should we be winning that group? It is Serbia, Romania, and China, I believe. I'm gonna check right now because I have the habit of getting things wrong. So let's find out. Team Great Britain Ice Hockey. Apparently I searched that quite a lot. Top search, here we go. So we have, oh yeah, shout out Hockey Station. I saw they did a partnership with GB. That's awesome to see. Right. Yeah, so Romania, China, and Serbia. Now we saw our juniors beat both Romania and China. Serbia, well, a dumpster fire from what I can imagine. There should be a nation that we're looking to beat. I hope we win all 3 games. I hope that we go into those. Howdy Sharks TV, how are we doing? I hope we go into those 3 games. We really turn up and we perform like a Pool A nation should against teams that low in the division at home with the Barmy Army. GB fans are epic, and that place is going to be rocking. Hopefully, everybody that's down there gets behind the boys. They have a good start in that first game, and then they just keep that train rolling. Let's have a look. Where does the tournament go after? The tournament, if they win, I believe, then goes to Italy for the next stage. Let's have a look. I think it then goes to Italy for the last stage, and then if we was to get through that, we go to the Olympics. And if we go to the Olympics, maybe, just maybe, do we start getting some proper fucking funding. IHF Olympic qualification. Here we go. Let's see what this is saying. So Serbia won the group below. They actually beat Croatia to come up. And if we look at the Croatian 20s, they beat our 20s a couple of years back. So the final Olympic qualification, this round will naturally be the most hotly anticipated, running from the 21st of August to the 1st of September. Slovakia host Group D with a nation to be determined, Kazakhstan, and in qualifier 6 in Bratislava. Latvia hosts Group E with France, Austria, qualifier 5 in Riga. Denmark hosts Group F with Norway, Slovenia, and qualifier 4 in a city to be determined in December. That's obviously probably been done by now. So we are coming out, or what group are we? Let's have a look here. So we go into Q8. Where the fuck does that go? Have I just made that up? Nope. Let's try that again. What division's GB? Hungary hosts Group G, blah, blah, blah. Great Britain hosts Group H with Romania. Oh, okay. So Q8 would have been Serbia. So the winner of H... I don't know why I'm not getting this. Yeah, it's not working for my brain. Sorry, folks. But anyone else help me out here? Because I'm reading this and it's not sinking into my brain. But yeah, do a die tournament program for free. Yeah, so it looks like either way, we'll be in and amongst some good nations. If we were to sit in any of those groups, what group would you want to be in? Latvia, France, Austria. That's, you know what? Latvia, France, and Austria. I think that's an okay group. I think Latvia, France, and Austria is easier than Denmark, Norway, Slovenia, and another team. I'm not saying it's easy by any stretch of the imagination. I just think that's potentially an easier group. You never know what Latvia team will turn up. They could end up being an absolute wagon. It's very interesting. If we get through to that last tournament, hey, you got to be in it to win it. And GB have shown it doesn't matter. GB will wheel out Jono to call everyone a cunt again. Yeah, it's still one of the most iconic GB speeches, if not the most iconic GB speech I can think of. I'm sure there's been a lot more behind the scenes that we've never got to hear, but that was right front and center on national TV. So it'll take a long way to go to beating that. Tony, go to Solway in Feb, Friday the 16th. Glasgow, Clan at home, then MK doubleheader, Solway, and Sunday. No, can do that weekend, I'm afraid. I think I'm on a sworn off a hockey weekend because that's the weekend after GB. And I'm then in Prague for both Prague teams. So that should be awesome. If anyone's ever been to Prague or never been to Prague, you definitely need to go check it out. It's one of the most fun cities. I've got a couple of the UK boys meeting me out there as well that have moved over to Prague, and then Seski's going to come and see me. So I'll be looking forward to that. But folks, I think that is all from me. That is a lot of stuff. Like I said, hopefully Mark will be back. We shall have more episodes of Road Tripping coming out very, very soon, and we will have lots of interviews coming on the way. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm going to answer this because support experts too good. Speaking of GB, I know it's a common topic, but who do you think genuinely is in the starting 6 in 5 years' time? I wish I had more time to think about this, but off the top of my head, Liam Kirk, Kieran Brown, Josh Waller, Sam Jones, I'm probably forgetting people. Maybe one of the Hazeldeans or Tetlow. And then in goal, I think that's where we're fucked. So Alex Oxdale. There you go. Off the top of my head, how's that? So you go Brownie, Kirky, and I've already forgot. Jeez. Brownie, Kirky, who else? Oh, Waller. Brownie, Kirky, Waller. Either Hazeldean and Tetlow, alongside Sam Jones, and then netminder. I'm stumped. Could Bouncy still be there in 5 years? If he wanted to be, would he want to be? Probably not. I don't know. We're going to have to get one from somewhere, because as it stands, Norton in goal, I reckon he should start some games in the National League before he even gets that call up to Cardiff. If he gets a call up to Cardiff and gets some ice time, hey, he's got to be playing at a high level. I would like to see some of these younger Brits go out and test themselves in Europe right now, because you're going to open doors that maybe you wouldn't, which is going to allow you to play at a level that maybe you won't. Gospel, yeah, I would argue he's probably the best choice outside of the usual suspects of Whistle and Headley. They're the four guys that we speak about in that position that are really the only ones with a chance. I would like to see Gospel get across to some GB training camps and stuff this year. I would love to see him get that opportunity. I think he's earned it. And I mean, you look at Leeds, where are we? National League. I mean, they've lost 4 games all year this year. And last year they were outstanding last year as well. He's a big part in everything they do. And I think he's epic. But folks, I need to go have some dinner. Baby's going to be home soon. This was fun. I'm glad that we did it on YouTube. I know sometimes we jump on Facebook, but I like this format better. I can see the comments there, and it works really nicely. Hopefully, we'll be doing some more for you very soon. Maybe I'll do a little live stream from Spain, and you guys can see. You can see what the Spanish league's like. What food are they going to have? By the way, I'm breaking my no drinking thing while I'm in Spain, because I am definitely having a nice sangria on Las Ramblas. Go check out Sagrada Familia and do some touristy stuff. One of my favorite cities on the planet. So can't wait. See you guys again soon. Peace.